Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the world of Wraith. Got with you guys something a little different. I love making market watches for you guys, but last week was New England's AGE. I was taking Cindra and I managed to get second place. So I wanted to do a quick little video about that. Now, building Cindra for this event, I was expecting Slippy to be the most represented. The Runaways podcast was definitely talking about how good Slippy is. New England has a pretty good amount of assassin players, and I was just expecting a lot of Slippy and of course Gravy as well. So the deck is kind of teched out a little bit to beat Slippy or have like a I wouldn't say a good matchup, but like every time I played Slippy, it was just like a very close game. Like all my Slippy games were really fun, really skillful. Um, Kind of disrespected Prism in deck building, and that's something I kind of want to get into in this list. When you look at my list, like just adapt it to your local meta. You know, if you have more prisms in your local meta, maybe you want to play some poppers. There's like Vincent in your meta. Maybe play Warmongers. So I managed to get to second, and then I lost in the finals to Joseph Kaiser on Kasai. Um, yeah, it was just a tough matchup. He had a crazy blood on your hands turn, and man, I don't even know how much value he got. It was like blood on your hands, that aura that gives your swords +1 and go again if they're like double their attack. His swords attacked twice each, and one of them had like +2. It was like a crazy turn. But overall, it was super fun. Nothing crazy to say. First of all, shout out to Pudding Tam. He won nationals. I think it was Hong Kong nationals on his Cindra list. Pretty much took his list, worked on it a bit with my team, tested a little bit, and it's pretty close. He was running Flamescale Fairness. I wasn't really siding that into any matchup, so I just put the Spellfray leggings to kind of respect Kano just in case. So this is something you can kind of tweak. This is kind of like a flex slot. And as well as your inventory, I think there's some cards you can tech here. Like Wax On was pretty much for the Slippy matchup, but I think Rally the Coast Guard is great into Prism. I think Warmongers can be like maybe applicable. Azalea is gone now, so maybe Warmonger's stocks kind of go down. But yeah, I'll leave the link of my deck list down below. And of course, I'll leave Putting Tam's deck list as well. Something that was really cool, he was only running 3 yellows, and I kind of kept that with Tenacity and Salt the Wound, and then one brand of Cinderclaw Yellow. Yeah, here it is. Yes, Salt the Wound and Tenacity without links are pretty awesome. I mean, they block 3. Sometimes, like, you can use them as a pitch. Sometimes you can use them for their actual effects on attacking. I pretty much sided it out. Like if I was running into like an aggro matchup, I would just keep Salt in. If I was running into a more block heavy matchup, I would run Tenacity. Against Slippy, I think I would take these out in general. I have I have only 2 matchup guides here, but I wasn't siding a lot. It was kind of like, oh, if you're playing a arcane deck, you play one Claw in Serakai, and yeah, I mean, there's not too much to side. Usually the main deck stays the same. I think the only 2 cards I would cut is one Blood Runs Deep and one Breaking Point. And you can test out what you want to run. Something notable is Pudding wasn't running Burning Blade Dance, which I thought was kind of crazy, but I didn't miss it at all. But that might be something worth running here. Rabble is so crazy when you're playing 56 reds. Like, I just felt so good playing this for Forgo again. MVP is pain in the backside. This card has always felt super strong in Assassin, but this card in Cindra is like, I don't know. We should just be playing this. This is so crazy. It does so many things. So, first of all, it's a red go again. So, even though it's not Draconic, you got your Blaze Hedgehog going. And this Blaze Hedgehog is Draconic. So, if you kind of have those two lined up, you pretty much get your whole engine started. It hits the with the daggers, so it kind of also synergizes with Cut Through. This being your Chain Link 1, often you don't really want to block Cinder's Chain Link 1. So putting this as your Chain Link 1 really kind of like trips up your opponent. So sometimes this can be 4 damage. Sometimes it's just like a 1 card 3 because they blocked it out. But it's also kind of like a Ignite in a way, because since you hit with your dagger, it allows you to proc your chest. And then you're doing 1 card 4. You get a resource and then you do your dagger. Be it you need your chest to be up, but alone it can be a draconic starter. It can be like one card five. So it was just going crazy. And against Slippy, the games aren't super long, so a lot of the times you want to get a good value off your chest, but you don't want to be like too conservative. Because personally, the way I was using it is I was getting two blood counters on it, and then I would use its one block value a lot of the times. Sometimes it's okay to just get the three resources and destroy it, but blocking one against assassins can be very critical. It's kind of like when they do codex, leave no witness, little things like that, when you can like guarantee that blocking four is safe. But yeah, everybody try paying the backside. This card's absolutely insane. He was playing three Hunt the Hunters, which was kind of weird for me, but this card was awesome. Constantly marking your opponent and making fealty is great, especially because you're running a good amount of just ninja attacks. And then two Art of the Dragon Fire felt weird when I first saw the list, but the more I played it, two feels perfect. Like, this was just coming in. I always had the fealty for it. And yeah, I mean, the deck list felt pretty smooth. Snatch, she was playing at three. I think two is better. I was kind of clumping up on starters. I mean, on enders, I should say. So I put Snatch to two. Snatch being draconic, along with like your Dragon Scalar Flight Path, just lets you do some pretty crazy plays. Like a lot of the times, they'll block your third and fourth chain link out, and then you being able to just present Snatch for another on hit that they'll have to block out. I don't know. This card was going crazy. I think I had it at three, but I think two is perfect. Usually the Dragon Scalar Flight Paths, I usually only found myself using them on Wrath of Retribution turns. So having another good outlet with like a Draconic Snatch is pretty good. Or even like using them on an Ender and then giving the Ender go again and then following up with Snatch can be pretty insane. Hunt to the End of Wraith. This card went absolutely crazy. I love Flesh and Blood cards that have these little, hateful effects. Like a lot of the light and shadow cards have effects that specifically target the other one. So it's really cool that Arachne, Fanging Cindra have these cards that like are very lore and thematic. But yeah, every time I played this, I felt so insane. Marking the Arachne and four go again. If your meta is filled with Arachnes, yeah, you could even bump this up to three. I mean, overall, the tournament I played four Arachnes, so kind of want to put this at three, but it's very specific for Arachne. I didn't bring it into any other matchups, so two felt pretty good. Besides that, I don't think there's much else I can say. Feel free to try out the list, and like I said, shout out Pudding. I'll leave his link for this list down below as well. His was a little bit different, but this kind of like where I kind of began like reaching out of. So yeah, if you want to use this as a base or use mine as a base and kind of tweak it to your own meta, Cindra's super fun, and I had a great time playing her. Shout out AGE. The event was super fun. We had like 43 people. So yeah, I'll leave the website for AGE, and I'll leave the deck list on the description below. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace.